If you've ever felt like no matter how much money you make, you're still stuck in the exact same financial loop, you are caught in the rat race. And there is a specific, structural reason why most people never escape it. You can do everything right, get the degree, land the promotion, secure the six-figure salary, and still end up financially trapped. Most financial gurus will tell you this is just a budgeting problem, or that you can work your way out of it by grinding harder for that next promotion. But that is the trap. The corporate ecosystem is mathematically engineered to consume your lifestyle inflation, meaning that moving up the ladder is often the very thing that guarantees you will stay trapped. In fact, high-earning professionals are now living paycheck to paycheck at record rates because career status acts as a hidden tax on your freedom. Over the next few minutes, we are going to look at the exact psychological mechanisms that keep you dependent on a paycheck, analyze a real-world case study of someone who successfully engineered a quiet corporate exit, and hand you a 3-step framework to buy back your time without risking your financial security. And I promise, by the time we get to that last one, the way you think about this will be permanently different. Think about the classic American career trajectory. You graduate, bag an entry-level position making $55,000 a year, and live in a modest apartment, driving a reliable, beat-up sedan. You're scraping by, but you're happy. Then, the breakthrough happens. You get promoted to department head. Your salary jumps to $95,000. Psychologically, something shifts. You look around and realize the department head cannot be seen parking a rusted vehicle in the executive lot. You upgrade to a luxury SUV, and your peer group changes. Your coworkers live in a quiet suburb 20 minutes outside the city, so you sign a mortgage on a house that matches your new title. This is the promotion paradox. We are conditioned to believe that moving up the corporate ladder creates freedom, but it actually creates a structural floor of high fixed expenses. When your income increases by 40%, but your fixed costs increase by 50% to maintain the social proof of that income, you haven't moved ahead. You've just raised the stakes of your dependency. You cannot quit, you cannot take a risk, and you certainly cannot pause to breathe because the machine now requires your maximum output just to break even. If you want to understand how to permanently break out of this cycle and protect your wealth from being swallowed by lifestyle inflation, hit the subscribe button right now. We break down the unconventional mechanics of wealth building every single week, specifically designed to help you see through the financial systems most people never question, giving you the actual strategies to buy back your time rather than just collecting liabilities. But understanding the trap is only half the battle. To see how this plays out in the real world, let's look at 2 college classmates, Marcus and Sarah. Both graduated at the top of their finance class, both landed elite consulting roles in Chicago, making $120,000 a year, and both possessed an elite work ethic. Marcus viewed the corporate ladder as the destination. He optimized for status. Every raise went into expanding his lifestyle footprint, premium gym memberships, fine dining with clients, and high-end vacations to decompress from 80-hour work weeks. To the outside world, Marcus was the definition of American success. But internally, Marcus was paying what psychologists call the identity tax. He wasn't buying things because he loved them. He was buying things to medicate the sheer exhaustion of earning the money in the first place. 20 years later, Marcus is a managing director making $500,000 a year, but his monthly fixed overhead is so massive that a single missed bonus cycle would trigger a financial crisis. He is highly compensated, completely exhausted, and fundamentally stuck. Sarah took a completely different path. She viewed her corporate job not as an identity, but as a venture capitalist views a seed funding round. She stabilized her lifestyle at a comfortable fixed baseline, around $70,000 a year, and treated every single salary increase, bonus, and promotion as capital to be deployed into independent assets. While Marcus spent his weekends networking at luxury golf courses, Sarah spent her weekends building a small, automated digital service business and acquiring cash-flowing real estate. She didn't cut out joy. She simply decoupled her joy from her job title. By year 10, Sarah's investments and side assets generated $80,000 a year in independent cash flow. She didn't wait for a formal retirement age. She used that leverage to negotiate a 4-day work week, then transitioned entirely into running her own boutique design and consulting firm. Sarah didn't escape the rat race by working less. She escaped it by changing who owned the output of her labor. So what actually works? What separates the people who genuinely escape from the people who spend 40 years waiting for a retirement that may never feel like freedom? Here's the shift. The people who escape the rat race don't just earn more or spend less. They change the fundamental relationship between their time and their income. In the rat race, income is directly tied to your presence. You trade hours for dollars. And because there are a fixed number of hours in your life, your income has a ceiling. And that ceiling is propped up by your continued performance and attendance. The real secret lies in a 3-step framework called an autonomy audit. Step 1. Shift the metric. You must stop tracking your wealth by net worth and start tracking it by your fixed cost coverage ratio. Net worth can be trapped in home equity or illiquid retirement accounts you can't touch without penalty. Your fixed cost coverage ratio is the percentage of your mandatory living expenses covered by money that does not originate from your primary employer. Step 2. Stabilize the floor. To shift this ratio, you have to deliberately separate your needs from the corporate luxuries that pretend to be needs. Do you actually need a luxury commuter car, or do you just need it because of the zip code you chose to live in to impress people you don't even like? Step 3. Fund the runway. Once you stabilize your expenses, you take the surplus and invest it exclusively into asymmetric opportunities, assets that have limited downside but massive upside, such as building a scalable online asset, buying equity in small businesses, or investing in income-producing real estate. This creates an exit runway. When your independent cash flow covers even 50% of your lean living expenses, the psychological power dynamic between you and your employer flips completely. You no longer operate out of fear, you operate out of leverage. Marcus could never escape because his fear of losing his status, his competitive drive to out-earn his peers, and his mountain of debt kept him anchored to his desk. He spends his days dreaming of a distant retirement, hoping that someday, decades from now, he can finally enjoy his life. Sarah understood that happiness and autonomy are not future rewards you unlock at age 65, they are daily metrics you design for right now. Ultimately, the rat race is entirely optional. It relies completely on your cooperation and your willingness to value societal validation over personal freedom. The internet has fundamentally democratized the creation of alternative income streams, meaning the only thing keeping you in the cage is the refusal to build your own exit route. If this video made something click for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now. Every week we publish content designed to help you think differently about money, wealth, and building a life that doesn't require you to trade all of it for a paycheck. I'll see you in the next one.